You talk a lot about transformation,
Yes.
about having that transformation moment. Do you use your storytelling to help in that transformation of others?
I love storytelling because it's relatable.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
use I can use my stories to help people relate and what I've helped others get through. Because so many times we're thinking, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this or not." But the moment you see one other person do it or two other people do something, you start saying to yourself, "It's possible."
What if the only thing standing between you and the life you were created for is the story you keep telling yourself? Well, today on this episode of Conversation, we're diving in with transformation coach, speaker, and purpose igniter, Coach Nigel Romany. From helping people break through fear to launching bold businesses and powerful podcasts, Coach Romany is here to show us how to stop playing small, live intentionally, and walk in purpose. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. You help people overcome that self doubt within themselves. I mean, how do you pull that out of them so they can overcome and get to that next level?
It's easy for me to sit here and say, "Just tell them that they're worth it." But it
Mm,
takes more than that. It takes more than that. You gotta show them that they're worth it. My students, I love seeing students change throughout the year. And it really comes down to getting to know them, getting
okay.
to know what makes them tick, and celebrating the small victories along the way. Every year, I have a couple students who are completely changed from where they were at the beginning of the year.
How do you, when it comes to people who are trying to become a business owner, an
Ooh,
entrepreneur, how do you reach them?
how you reach them? I heard a saying that if you're adding value,
Hmm.
people will find you.
Mm.
If you're doing something worthwhile, people will find you. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you believe in what you're doing adds value to other people, then keep doing it and go for it. Don't chase the money. Chase the service. Chase chase adding value to people. Because if you chase the money, you may find that quick hit for a month, but it ain't going to fulfill you. For us media folks, let's take a look at Jerry Maguire,
Yes.
Mr. Stillwell. Show me the money. You know what, Mr. Stillwell? You earned the money. You went out there. You took. I know it's a movie reference, but he took the hits. He worked hard, and he got paid at the end because he once Jerry got him to focus on being a team player and being away from himself. He started to add value to the team. He stopped chasing the money, and the money came to him.
You talk a lot about transformation,
Yes.
about having that transformation moment. Do you use your storytelling to help in that transformation of others?
Well, I I love storytelling because it's relatable.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
use my stories to help people relate to what I went through and what I've helped others get through. Because so many times we're thinking, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this or not." But the moment you see one other person do it or two other people do something, you start saying to yourself, "It's possible. I can do this." The gym I work out at, we have pictures all over the wall of everybody who's gone through their transformations. And it's an inspiration for us to say, "Okay, I don't have to be that lean and that cut, but I know it's possible." And many times we are faced with situations where we're thinking, "Oh, I'm the only one going through this. I'm the only person experiencing this." No, you're not. Others have been there. Others are still there. But if you follow what they've done, follow their process, and their transformation is possible for all of us.
Mhm.
And I always mention that your transformation is different than someone else's transformation.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
use I use this example because I got my own family members going through this right now. Just getting out of bed and going for that walk for some
Mhm.
is huge. Others, it's getting a new job.
Yeah.
Others, it's little things. I don't want to say like I've dropped 80 and I've retransformed my life, but it doesn't have to be that for everybody. They're thinking, oh, Coach Romany is crazy. He's at the gym every day. You don't have to go to the gym every day. It's just become who I am. You want to get healthy? Change the way you eat. Walk for 10 minutes a day. Little things like that, and you're going to start to see a change. It's a ripple effect. It is one little change brings on another change. We build upon our successes, and your success is your success.
What role does faith, spirituality play in your journey? Is that
Yeah,
part of your journey? Is that
it's
integrated
part
in
of
your
my journey.
coaching? Is it part of
It's a part of me. So I don't talk about it a lot. I always find that religion is always that we don't want to talk about, don't want to offend people.
Mhm.
But I know deep down inside myself, I don't preach, I don't tell people to read the Bible, whatever. But
Yeah.
I've always been a son of God. And I've always said that we don't always have to understand what happens. We just need to know that it's happening for a reason. I
I
lost
like
my
that.
mom and dad within a year and a half of each other. How is that benefiting me? It's helping other people because now I'm out helping people, spreading my message. I guarantee you, I would not be the man I am today if mom and dad were still alive
Mm, wow.
because it changed me and it changed my focus. Like I'm not happy they're gone. Let's get
Oh, no,
that
no, no,
right.
no, no. Of course not. Of course not. Of course
But I
not.
recognize that things happen for a reason. I don't always have to understand them. I will quote my mother again on my wedding day 32 years ago. She had the most line I use for the rest of my life. Women are to be loved,
Mhm.
not understood. So I think that's
Oh, so true.
I apply that to God. I apply that to God, our creator, whatever you believe in. We don't always have to understand them, but we gotta love
Oh,
them.
so true. So here's something. I don't know if you noticed this. Um, more and more of I call us our group 50, 60, 70. We're doing more. We're using the internet more. We're creating podcasts, we're creating businesses more. How do you see how that has an impact for us sharing our life experiences with others? We're that new online demographic.
There's courses out there, an AI course that says people over 40, which I'll be
Yes.
taking next month.
Yes.
But I've never thought about that. But if you sit down and think about it, where did you and I learn our lessons from? We learned them from our fathers
Yes.
and our mothers who would sit around and tell us stories of their lives. They were the original storytellers. I think my dad would have loved being on a podcast. He would have loved it. Like he passed away with dementia. So he had dementia for
Mhm.
about a year and a half. And the stories he would tell. Now, because he had dementia, I got to hear him 5, 6 times.
Times, yes.
But they were always great stories. And I think he would have loved me sitting down with him and recording his stories.
I'm noticing that. I interviewed this one. I was gonna say young lady. She's still a young lady. She's 65 and she made crochet blankets. She thought no one was really like into that. She put them on Etsy and it blew up. It just went crazy. She actually created a little podcast to show you how to do it. She went
Yeah.
from like 100, 200, 10, 20, 30,000, 100,000 people from around the world tune in to watch her teach how to crochet.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to self brag, but we've been there and done that. We have the wisdom from experience, is probably the best way to say it.
Yes.
We have the wisdom from experience. Like, I'm not knocking these young guys,
No,
but
no, 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 no.
you got life coaches at 22. You haven't even lived yet at 22.
You almost because I'm like, what have you really done at 22?
Yeah,
You
that's okay.
you haven't even moved out the house. Have you loved? Have you lost?
Have you
I
lost?
mean,
Yes. Have
no.
you really lost?
Have you really lost? Have you struggled? Have you figured out how are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to eat? How are you going to feed
Oh,
your
preach,
family?
preach. People talk about being broke.
No,
You
okay.
don't
See,
know what being broke is
broke
until you're looking
is.
at your account daily.
I have no problem you teach me how to use technology. I have no
Yes.
problem with you saying, hey, here are some ways that you can extend your brand. No problem with that. This is your digital age. But to live, that's my issue. My issue is, have you ever struggled to the point where you're going to figure out how you're going to eat the next day?
Yes.
Or you lost your job and have to come home and tell your wife that you just lost your job.
Oh man. Those are days you
And
don't forget.
I know, okay, see, you know what? See, I'm gonna get in trouble. Watch. I know don't get in trouble. I am so tired of people, of the young people trying to have real experience, but it's all fake.
Because we're too old to fake it now.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I was interviewing someone and they have like 300,000 subscribers, right? And I said, don't you get like bad comments? And you know what they told me? They don't know me. And I had thought about it. He said, so why should someone giving me a bad comment hurt my feelings when
Because it ain't
they
real.
don't know me? They're not my brother. They're not my sister. They're not my cousin. They're not my family. I'm entitled to my opinion. They're entitled to their opinion. But why should I get bent out of shape out of a couple hundred people who don't like my opinion?
You got a couple hundred, then you got to start worrying. And you know what? If they don't like your opinion, why don't you engage?
No. He actually encouraged it. He will actually go on and say, hey, these people don't like my opinion, and read their comment. And he's like, I get, understand you expressing yourself, but that's why we have freedom of speech.
Yes.
To
Freedom of speech,
have
and
an opinion.
some of that hate's good for you, man. Some of that
And
hate is
so,
good for
and
you.
he says when he does that, the 100 people who left, he gets 1,000 new people who join. We use the phrase, let's go, unstoppable. What keeps you fired up when you have those hard days? Those days where you just like, I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like motivating someone. What keeps you fired up? What keeps
keeps
you making you want to go?
What keeps me going is my purpose. When I realize, I talked about earlier, the reason why I do it. Why do I go to the gym? Because I know I'm motivating others. Why am I posting so much? Because I know that one or two people out there are going to listen to it and it's going to make a difference. Like I said, I'm fortunate. I got a couple people on TikTok who send me notes every once in a while and saying, thanks, coach. I really needed this. Thanks, coach. It changed my day. Coach, I'm a big supporter. And I say, if I can make a difference in this guy's life or this person's life, I'm going to keep doing it. It's not about me. And I'll give you another little tip. What keeps me going? When I do it, I just feel great. The passion, my energy levels just rise when I make a post, when I work out. Call it dopamine, call it whatever. But when I'm talking, my energy just goes up.
Wow.
So I make that post.
You often talk about identity, and if you notice, every time, and it's interesting because during the whole interview, you talk about knowing yourself,
Yes.
understanding yourself, understanding your identity, and this is sort of kind of switch from a branding perspective, because you've done a great job, by the way, of branding yourself.
Thank you.
How do you push your identity and your brand out there? Is it just you being you? Are you intentional? Like you said, are you intentional about some of the posts that you put out? Or are you intentional about making sure that you have the best brand to represent you?
That's just me because, like I said, I was born with the gift of gab and the motivation. A lot of my stuff, except for Wednesday's all about pink and anti-bullying. A lot of my content comes from me living who I am, me going through what I'm going through.
True.
I've seen people say, oh, I don't know what to talk about. Talk about what you're feeling that day. I'm not a social media manager, but my posts are about being true to yourself, what it takes to change, uplifting people who are going through a rough day. Little side note, sometimes I'll make a post, but I made one last week about what it takes to be courageous and how everybody's not going to understand it.
Wow.
That's what drives my content,
Wow.
helping others, adding value. I'll do my speeches for groups with intention.
Okay.
But my posts are what I'm feeling that day or feeling that week.
let people know. You have the floor. Let people know
Okay.
how they contact you. How can they find you? I want to know TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We want to know it all. How can they? And you got to talk about this website. Hey, if y'all haven't seen this website, this thing is awesome. By the way, he's redone his website. This thing is like fantastic. I might borrow some of that. So, some of that
Thank you.
design work you got. Yeah, but
Yeah.
go ahead. Tell them how they get in
Uh,
contact with you.
Website is www.coachromany.ca. Spell that out. CoachRomany.ca. It's the website. Email is coach@coachromany.ca. CoachRomany. All my social media is branded Coach Romany. TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. I think that's the one. I got off of that Twitter thing a couple years ago when Elon took over. But yeah. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Yes.
Mhm. Oh, the book. Now, you got to talk about the book too. You gotta
Oh yeah, the book.
the book. Okay, there you go. The book. Go ahead.
You can buy my book, Be Different, Be Great, A Process to Personal Greatness by Nigel Romany on Amazon. Be different, be great. I end all my posts with that because you are special. You are unique. There's nothing enlightened about playing small so that others won't feel insecure around us. You were meant to shine as children of God. And when you let your light shine, you automatically liberate others to let their own light shine. Marion, I paraphrased you a little bit there, but hopefully Marion Williamson forgives me.
We had a great time, Coach. We gotta have you back. You know what? We're gonna check in again. We're gonna check in. We're gonna check in with you, say about 6 months from now, see how things
Absolutely.
are going. We had a great time with Coach. And remember, without the conversation, we can't have the understanding. Talk to you guys later.
Absolutely.